You're live. As you take a big hit. All right.
Remind me next time we see each other to show you the video of my wife falling in love with a piece of pizza.
Sounds adorable.
Yeah, it is. It's I we were hanging out on the couch and I'd finished two pieces of pizza and looked over and realized that she was just slowly going through this one piece of pizza. So I put the camera on her and recorded her for 2 minutes, just going on while Beavis and Butthead was playing in the background the whole time.
That's all. All right. How should we start?
Oh boy,
It's
it's
high noon. It's high. How's he
it's
say it?
it's high noon.
Time to get ugly.
Boy, it's been an ugly week.
It has been another quiet week after
Yeah,
after just the barrage of things with Laracon and everything else going on. This week has been relatively quiet.
yeah, it's been pretty nice. You know, up until the point when I realized we had to do a discussion on what's happened this week, and then all of a
So
sudden I
what?
realized,
You were supposed to make a guest appearance. What happened there? I was so looking forward to you being on Lara Chat, which is another
they didn't.
podcast.
I don't think they did an episode this week.
That sucks.
Yeah,
You were branching out. You're cheating on me, you dirty little whore.
I know. It's the way you like it, though.
It is. I need to bring up my notes. I haven't even brought up my notes yet. I don't even remember where my notes are anymore. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
goodness.
was going over the notes, and I was thinking about adding, like, well, we could talk about Overwatch. Overwatch has new stuff going on.
I don't even need to
You look
play
at
that game. I watch so many of those stupid videos.
Did you look at the Sombra ARG, the game that's running about finding out what Sombra is and
Oh yeah,
all that
that
stuff?
link you sent me where they're decoding the numbers and turns into a QR code, and that is absolutely incredible. People figure that stuff out.
Yeah, it's impressive. And the newest thing is that someone found a a new code in the skybox in the game.
Oh really? What was this?
Oh, now it's missing.
Uh-oh. The plot thickens.
Oh, the code in the sky. Uh, oh yes, looking up in the sky reveals this image. Da, 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 da.
What is this?
This is after having been post processed and muxed around and
So sharing images over Slack just bodes so well with podcasts.
yeah, it does. So some kind of QR code again is showing up in the sky above the Dorado map, and it's a new pattern, some kind of barcode. People are still trying to figure it out. It's been flattened and rotated, and yeah, it's no one knows anything yet. They're just collecting encrypted data in some way. It's bizarre.
It is bizarre, and I gotta hand it to Blizzard for being geeks, man. Those guys, they live the
Oh
life,
yeah,
don't they? They're
yeah.
hardcore through and through.
Well, and this is all after the Anna character got released, and then Summer Games started uh, just a couple days ago. So there's this Lucio Ball mode, which is utter garbage,
So
and then
that's
there's
really something you can play. That's a game mode that you can play in.
yeah, it's just junk.
Hmm.
It's
Everybody's talking about Pokemon Go now. You spoke
yeah,
about that a few weeks back.
everyone but us.
Yeah, we're over it. I don't think. anybody's playing. Are you playing?
No.
I was surprised how many people at Laracon played Pokemon Go. It was,
It,
I guess there's a big nostalgia with it, which I get. I get that.
it's fun. It's just I don't go walking around parks and stuff. I'm a little bit too nerdy for that game.
Mm.
But
How's your
nah.
migration going? Your
Oh
migration
boy.
from Laravel 4 to 5.
4 to 5. Oh, this one. Boy. Yeah, so I migrated a small part of this one site, and then we're just gonna migrate the whole rest of the thing over. And it isn't just that it's 4 to 5, but it's also a full CMS migration. So we're migrating the management and output of one CMS into another CMS.
Ah,
So
moving along.
it's moving along. It's still throwing errors when I pull up pages, missing a route at this point,
I hung
function
out with your
calls that
boss
don't
a little bit this
exist.
week.
Really? He won't even
You
hang out with me.
know, you gotta
Oh.
leave your house every now and then. Yeah,
Oh, that's
he's still on crutches. Your boss got into a little bit of a motorcycle accident some time back, but he's almost done. I think he said he's gets out of the cast this week. In a couple more weeks, he's planning on being back on the bike.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and convince him to come to the next meetup next week because it's a hell of a it's a hell of a talk. I'll tell you that. Get
Next week's
internals.
next week's is ours.
Yeah.
Next week is downtown.
Downtown?
Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh,
SDPHP downtown?
do I have 2 weeks?
You're on the 16th, right?
Oh, I've got an extra week. That's nice.
Yeah, you're referring to your SDPHP North County meetup.
Yeah, my Get Good meetup.
Get good.
Are
What's
you gonna
that
be
going to
at
be
that
about?
one?
I am the 16th. I'm not going to be here. I'm out in town.
Damn.
I know. I'm sorry. I am.
You're gonna miss this one because it's awesome.
Yeah. I usually do miss them. Uh, yeah, I'm out of town the 16th, and then I'm actually out of town again the week of the Laravel one. But I. Oh no, check that. That's not right. I'm out of town the week after that, so. I knew I wasn't missing the Laravel meetup. I just wasn't sure how I wasn't missing it. I don't go out of town to the 29th. Oh, I'm a traveling man this past month, I tell you.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, this meetup's going to be all about Git core functionality and internals and becoming a Git master. And I'm hoping at least a few people will be able to come away from the meetup able to call themselves Git masters because it's a deep dive.
Yeah.
We get into changing branches by editing a text file, manually creating gits or manually creating commits by calculating the checksum and the containing files.
Holy crap! Why would you
Writing
even do that?
because knowing how it's done explains what the tool is doing. It once you understand
I
once you
don't know how
understand
my
at its
engine
core.
works in my car, but I still don't mind driving it
Oh,
anyway.
it is so incredibly simple.
Hmm.
Um, it's just that it's a sequence of simple events. It's a chain of easily understood things. But what it's doing isn't going to surprise you in any way. You're not going to say, "Oh, it's writing some binary thing in some secret language no one can read." And no, it's not. It's not doing anything crazy. And a lot of the Git tools like Git commit and Git add, they're just doing two or three things for you. You know, the they're more of a workflow component than I realized. That yeah, you don't have to use them. They're just for that specific workflow, which is the Git workflow.
Interesting. Well, I'm sorry I'm going to be missing that. Are you going to try to stream?
I am. I'm going to stream this one again. It should be good. And then I've got someone lined up for next month.
Good job. What do you
Yeah, I
got
got
lined
it.
up for next month?
I've got a guy who wants to do a presentation on, well, geez. I don't have it saved to Meetup yet. He's going to do a presentation on Postgres, Postgres design, and
Is that my guy?
no, it's my guy.
Okay. So we're jumping ahead a little bit because my meetup is next week, and it's one of the ones I've been looking forward to, and it's about Postgres. Um, Gentleman's going to come out and do a talk, and they actually changed presenters on me today. The original presenter was not going to be able to make it. He had a work commitment that he wasn't able to get out of, and I don't have his backup with me right now, so I would have to hunt that down. But they're going to be talking about Postgres. Oh, here. How do you pronounce this? Yogesh.
What?
Yogesh.
Yoge? I don't know.
Yogus.
If you say it too many times, you're going to cast whatever spell it is.
Anyways, he's going to be coming out and doing a talk on using SQL and Postgres. I'm looking forward to that. He's very adamant about the fact that they don't want to get into an entire conversation back and forth on why Postgres is better than MySQL or why MySQL is better than Postgres. So I could respect that. That was nice
Yeah.
little condition. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been doing a lot of looking into Postgres recently, and I think I'm just about done with my conclusion on it. I'm looking forward to watching this talk to kind of wrap up a few remaining questions I might have. But yeah, it's been an interesting exploration into Postgres.
Yeah, I'm about 12 hours in on this presentation.
You might need to cut that back a little bit.
No, I mean like writing it. I should show this to you. I should show it to you later. Showing it to you on the podcast wouldn't work too well, would it?
It just doesn't play well, no.
Lots of animated slides though. It's very pretty.
And then we got
So
we've
we
got
got we, we got news.
we got news. Okay, I'll stop talking about meetups.
Well, no. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna wrap it up with, and we've got the Laravel meetup this month as well. So
Yeah, what are we
this is one
doing
of
at the
the
Laravel meetup?
few weeks that we don't have a meetup. So I was kind of doing a capture of all the meetups we have this month. Well, I think
It's been relaxing.
yeah, it has been. I think the Laravel meetup, we typically do 2 talks, but I think this coming month I'm just going to hog the whole meetup and just go through all the stuff from Laracon, talk about the new features in 5.3, mainly talk about the new features in 5.3. I think that's going to be the lion's share of the talk, and try to get some demos out and actually put some code together that I can show and
Yeah.
things like
Well,
that.
I have to do work on Laravel Scout anyways, so I might be able to help you out with that.
What do you mean you have to do work on it?
I want to evaluate it and see if we can replace our Algolia-based search system with Scout.
Well, Scout doesn't replace it. It just makes it easier to do the searching, right? So it just puts a more eloquent interface to the front end of it.
Right.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
we're paying on a per query basis for Algolia,
Mhm.
and we run a lot of queries. So, and then we're building a new system that is supposedly going to be bumping up that query rate quite a bit.
I don't
So
know if this
there's
is going to
interest.
reduce your queries at all.
Well, the interest is in moving over to Elasticsearch, which is free because we run it locally,
Uh-huh.
and using Scout to simplify the implementation of Elasticsearch.
Cool.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We've been working on a project that is leveraging Elasticsearch, and we have a developer who'd really he's dove into this Elasticsearch headfirst, and I think for 2 weeks that's all he would talk about. We basically had to tell him, listen, stop working on this. We need you working on actual problems now. But this is cool. You see, I can just do this. I'm like, yeah, no, that's awesome.
We
Do
do it.
something else now.
We're very proud of you, but
And I am. I want to try to get together. We've tried before and failed. The whole elk stack for log monitoring, and that's heavily reliant on Elasticsearch. And I think that's one of the areas that we weren't getting dialed in correctly because we didn't seem to be getting our log files indexed correctly. So I might stick him on that project and try to get him to stand us up an elk server for the company, so that all of our client logs we can start pumping into this one centralized server.
yeah.
So you were saying we have some news.
We do have some news. We have a little bit of news for the week. I dug through all the news I could find, and I found that Phalcon framework updated to version 3.
Everybody's bumping up their version. Phalcon.
Yep.
Now
Phalcon,
Phalcon's a little bit of a different framework, right? It's
right,
not your
it's a
typical
compiled
PHP.
framework.
Yeah.
So it's a very fast framework. That's why people use it. They use it for its speed. That's the only reason to use it, as far as I know. And yeah, it is a C compiled library that plugs into PHP. So all of your calls go through a already compiled package.
And
So
this means that you need to actually, and it's been a long time since I played with it, so this could have changed, but I believe you actually have to modify your PHP INI file to load the library for Phalcon, and
yep.
I mean, it is a hardcore framework. I mean, it tries to get closer to the quote unquote metal of PHP, and not just be another layer running. So
Yeah, so that's news for the week.
that's it. That's the entire news for the week.
That's the only thing that happened.
I have to be honest with you. I looked through. I've been looking through for the last 2 days, and like nothing was jumping out at me. Like, oh yeah, let me add this to Trello. Usually it's not an issue because I listen to podcasts and I have dozens of RSS feeds that I read through, and I'm constantly coming across stories, and I just tap my little Trello extension in Chrome and add it to our board, and by the time Thursday rolls around, I'll look at the Trello board and usually have to start pruning stuff out. Like, oh yeah, this isn't worth talking about. This isn't worth talking about. But that was not a problem this week.
Yeah, it's been a dry. I wonder if there's a convention hangover. Is it when people have a big convention like Laracon, they're too exhausted to work the next week. They don't want to do anything.
Maybe it's our circle because we are pretty focused on Laravel, but the Laravel convention is not that big, and it's not like a bunch of news came out of the Laravel, with the exception of the Laravel 5.3 stuff and the Vue stuff.
Sure.
Not that much stuff comes out of Laracon, but it just seems like the whole PHP world came to a screeching halt last week, and
Yeah.
not that much going on at all.
Yeah. Well, I have one thing that I found while I was scouring the internet, and I've got to put a warning out here. There are some trigger words in this conversation. Specifically,
if you're listening through speakers, you may want to be aware at this stage.
yeah. So specifically, we'll be talking about the Amazon Echo. Damn it. And it's
is your keyword Echo?
Well, yeah, because my daughter's name is Alexa.
You got to be kidding me! Really? You named your kid Alexa?
Yeah,
How cute is
that was
that?
that was before the Echo came out, though.
Obviously. I was gonna say don't say Alexa, say Echo, but that doesn't work for you.
No, yeah, it's you've only got three options. You've got Alexa, Echo, and Amazon.
Right.
And I think I'm actually gonna have to change it to Amazon because it doesn't seem to like the Echo keyword as well as the Amazon keyword. But I got one recently. I love it. It's fantastic. You've had one for a while now.
I have three actually. Not
Three.
not not intentionally. It was an accident. The third one was like that third child. It was just an accident. We weren't planning on having a third Echo. It just kind of came. No, I got the original Echo. I'm an Amazon Prime user, so I ordered it first. And it was funny because when I ordered the Echo, it was like $100. You got the Echo, you got the little remote, and I didn't realize all that stuff cost extra. So not only did they raise the price of the base Echo when it was finally released, but like they charge extra now for the little remote, which I love the remote because I can be in my kitchen and I just queue it up, and or if people are you're sleeping, I don't have to say anything. I can just turn down the volume with the remote. So I like the remote. But I bought the original Echo, and then when the Echo Dot came out, I'm like, that would be neat to have in my have in the bedroom. So I purchased the Dot, and when they released the Dot, they released the Tap at the same time. But I didn't realize the Tap was in itself a an Amazon Echo. I thought it was a companion speaker to the Tap. So
Right.
I ended up buying it and realized, hey, this is a fully functional Echo on its own merit. So I did pair it with the Echo Dot. So it acts as a Bluetooth speaker to the Echo Dot for me, and then I can pick it up, take it outside, and use it as the tap. So yeah.
Hmm. I like it, but I'm waiting for a version 2 to come out where it does a lot more virtual assistant stuff. I
What would you
have
like to get to?
well calendar dates, reminding me of certain calendar dates that as they come up, or uh, sort of more proactively communicating with me instead of being communicated to.
Instead of being prompted to, yeah. I'd say she'll
Yeah.
tell you your calendar if you ask her and you get dialed in.
Well, I want to start getting into development for it. See what I can create. And one of the nice things I saw today was the Alexa skills framework for PHP. So there's a guy who wrote up a rough framework for handling Alexa skills and communicating with a an Amazon Echo, so you can write your own skill. Um, one of the skills I use all the time is the Jeopardy questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've looked through their skills library, and there's some good stuff, but I mean, it's really an untapped resource at this point. People could be doing very interesting stuff with it.
Yeah. This is I did not even bother opening up the link here, but yeah, this is interesting. I've been thinking about. I mean, it's all API based, so it's not overly difficult to write new skills for Alexa. But it's an interesting approach. Somebody's trying to build a library around it that makes good sense.
Yeah. So this is written by user Simontov Yusufov, and I can't tell if that is
Pretty sure
a
that's a
main.
handle.
I think that might be a handle. His handle on Reddit is the Simonator.
Saboneater.
Let's see, Simon Use.
Hmm.
Simon Yusosov. No idea. Boy, I hate it when I look into a developer and then they have a fancy website that has a nice picture of their city and just go, oh God, I'm doing horribly. I don't have a website with a nice picture of a bustling city. with my resume on it and a picture of me sitting on a cornfield.
So you know what I want to see Alexa do before we get off the topic of Alexa?
Yeah,
Tell me if you think this is this. You think this is a direction that it's going to go in? I need Alexa to recognize when I ask her something, from myself asking her to my wife asking her to my kids asking her. Like if I ask her what's on my calendar, she should read back to me my calendar, but my wife should be able to do the same thing and say what's on my calendar and get that as well. What do you think? Do you see that happening?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, with the way the voice recognition is going, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a software update that handled that.
man, I would
Um,
love to see that happen.
yeah, that would be really cool. I have a lot of problems where I'll be turning off music or turning on NPR or something. I'll say echo, and my kids will start yelling things at the device, trying to get it to screw up. Hey,
And
no, no,
when we
stop.
had the Diego Dev offices, we had a Echo in there as well. And one of John's funniest little jokes is as he's leaving the office, he'd walk out and say Echo Volume 10 and just
Oh,
shut the
Jesus.
door. Dick!
Well, no,
I got the,
I've had that happen to me where you can't turn it off because it's too loud. It doesn't hear you yelling at it to turn off.
exactly. Yeah, no, he knows that. All you do is just start, talking over him and hoping you interrupt him. But I got the last
There's a
laugh.
button.
Yeah, I got the last laugh on that though, because he tied all the Amazon services to his accounts, including his Pandora. So I made some pretty colorful playlists for him on his
that'll,
Pandora.
that'll be great when his kids find that one.
So I'm looking forward to it.
uh,
All right.
Uncle Eric teaches the blues.
Daddy, what is bondage?
Oh,
What is
jeez.
bondage rap? What is that?
Bondage. Okay, well now I want to know, what is bondage rap?
I don't know. All you say is Alexa, Pandora, and then you name off some random words and see if you can put together a Pandora playlist for it.
Oh God.
And bondage was definitely one of them. And I had a couple other colorful ones in there. I
So what do you got? What do you got for this week?
don't have a whole lot. What do I have this week? Actually, you have something else on here I wanted to talk about. You recently bought a camera for your living room?
I did. I bought a D-Link camera, and you know what?
D-Link.
It's probably the last time I'll ever buy anything from D-Link.
Why is that?
Just because out of the box it didn't work. Still
Oh.
doesn't work. I've contacted them to try and get it working, and the form you fill out requests the model number and the issue you're having, and et cetera, and then it compiles that into an email and sends it off to their tech support. And their tech support replied to the email with, "What model number are you using?" And in the body of their reply was still my initial message, which had the model number.
Mm.
So clearly, tech support's not even trying.
So I did something similar, and I'm about equally pleased with it. I bought cameras for the house. I just happened to set one up in the living room yesterday because I was the only one home, so I set it up in the living room. I had the air conditioning running, and I had the camera going so I can see when the dog wanted to go out back. Because I'm in my office and he's out in the living room, and I didn't want him waking up my wife who works at night and sleeps during the day. So I had set up the camera in there. I also have a camera in the front of my house, and my problem with it, and we had this discussion on an earlier podcast, and I struggled with it, and I went ahead and kind of went against my better judgment, and now I'm sort of regretting it. So I got a Nest camera, which is supposed to be these super simple drop-in wireless cameras, and for the most part it is. Wasn't a whole lot to set up, but it requires that you subscribe to their service if you want to have any sort of archiving of your video. Otherwise, it's just a live feed. There's no 1 day archive or even
Is
an
it an is it
hours.
an IP cam?
Yeah, it is.
So I've got a free service to do that for you.
So this was going to be my question: is obviously you get a free trial, and I let the trial lapse, and at that point it was just a live camera, and I wasn't sure what my options were as far as tying other services into it because I don't think I can tie another service into it.
Sure. So I went and started looking around for this before I bought it. And there is a company called Angel Cam, which you would think was a completely different business, but it is in fact an IP camera recording solution. And they do almost all of the work. I mean, their software works on my camera where the D-Link software that came with the camera does not work. And their software is purely web-based. You pop a hole in the router and point at your camera's IP, and they just connect to it, determine what kind of camera it is and how to connect to it, and they do all the work, and it worked perfectly the first time.
It does say work. It does say works with any brand.
Yeah, and it's so far it seems to be working fine. I mean, I've got it recording 3 days worth of data for free. I'm streaming 24/7 to the
That's
camera.
perfect. That's exactly all. That's all I needed was a couple of days of retention,
Yeah,
and that would have been perfect. Even the 7 days at $5 a month. That's reasonable, I guess. That's what, $60 a year.
yeah, it's totally reasonable, and I use it for both monitoring and dissuading the children from fighting in the living room. There's so many times when the boys both come running to me and accuse each other of having done something terrible, and I don't have any idea what really happened. So now I do. Now I just hop onto the Angel Cam site and rewind it 1, 2, 3 minutes and watch the whole event unfold. Now I got a cheap camera. I got a $35 camera, and it's only 640 by 480 quality, but it looks great, and
hmm
it's running at 15 to 20 frames per second, but it doesn't do audio through this interface. So I don't have a perfect setup, but for $35, really not bad.
I wonder how you tie. So how would I tie this into my Nest though? That's what I don't. I'm not seeing a whole. Connect
You
your
have to
camera now.
so you have to have your Nest's IP address,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to port forward your system to the Nest on port 8080 or whatever.
Uh, that would be a little bit of a challenge. I could do it, but I'm actually behind two routers at my house. I got a real funky setup. My wife works from home, and I work from home, and her company supplied a router and computers for her system. Obviously, I have a router for my systems. So it's a really weird setup. I don't know if you're a normal home setup but I can. I'm a professional, man. I can figure this stuff out.
Yeah, you're a tech guy. You can do this.
And I might be signing up for the service as we speak live on the podcast. I'm not gonna say for sure I am. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Well, and it uses OAuth too, so you just go click, 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 and now you're signed up. I mean, it's
I've already
incredibly,
signed up. I
yeah,
know.
it's incredibly smooth. So yeah, I'm really happy with what I've got on it so far. But
Mm-mm.
I am disappointed in D-Link yet again for making just crappy products, and crappy products which require proprietary software to work correctly, and the proprietary software doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
that old chestnut. I have a NAS from D-Link that I got in 2009, and it has the exact same web interface as the 2016 made webcam or IP camera I just bought. They haven't in any way improved their interface or their tool set.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
But I hear I can flash open or DDWRT onto the camera though, which would be interesting.
Hmm. What?
DDWRT is open source routing software.
Right. Why would you put that on a camera?
Just because it allows you to control all the features in any way you want to.
Hmm.
For example, like I can't get the audio working on the camera because it doesn't support streaming audio in that format. But with OpenWRT or DDWRT, I could choose the formats that it allows to stream.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put something else on the Trello board. This is something I hear asked a lot, and it's had me thinking about it. And I really don't have a good answer on my side. My answer is pretty corny, and I'll willing to share it with you. But I was curious if you had any um, answer to this. And the question is, are there any developers that you look up to? Either developers who got you motivated, got you started, or developers that you currently look up to and idolize? Is there anybody like that?
There's my mentor who I haven't seen in a very long time, who originally taught me how to develop. Uh, Joe Gear. He's not a
So,
prominent community member, but he
is
is
that
a
is that
mentor.
his real name, Joe Gear?
Yeah,
You guys got an awesome name.
yeah. And he was my mentor from when I was 18 years old, and really got me involved in the community, involved in PHP. But as far as community members go, I really like Phil Sturgeon and the work he's done and the company he's built out of the work that he's done. Um, we know a developer who works at one of our meetup locations, named Will. And Will is an amazing developer. Really knows more about everything than I could ever hope to.
William is a dynamite person all around. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's very giving. He's willing to take people under his wing, and he's a good guy. Yeah.
yeah. And then of course you and John, which John's being surprisingly quiet this podcast.
The last couple of podcasts, I noticed he doesn't seem to say a lot, but
Yeah,
you know the
you
the
have
the
a
rating the
baby and
ratings
just
are
drop
going
off the
up.
map.
The ratings are going up, so we can't complain.
Yeah, no, it was nice to hear from him today. I wasn't aware that we had bought him flowers.
Oh yeah, I might have forgotten to tell the team that I bought flowers for him and his wife to celebrate their new child. But I put everybody's name on the card, so I figured, hey, yes, John posted that, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, did I tell them we did this? I might not have told them. So, yeah, John's a good guy. Yeah, like I said, my answer is kind of corny. I mean, I don't can't think of any one particular person that um, motivates me. There are people I'm grateful for. Linus Torvalds is one of them.
Torvalds, yeah.
Uh, I mean, you know, he's changed our entire industry, the entire landscape of what we do. Um, short of
Well, he's
that,
changed computing. I mean, he's changed computing altogether.
absolutely. And short of that, I mean, the corny part is I can honestly say that I look up to any developer who has done any sort of contribution to open source. Um, it's such a meaningful platform, and it does so much for everyone involved that if you're a developer and you've done any coding on open source platforms at all. I envy you. I appreciate everything you do, and I look up to you. But yeah, that's I don't. Yeah, there's not like a rock star for me though.
Yeah, I don't. The PHP community kind of doesn't have a real rock star developer.
Mm.
Uh, but there are definitely a lot of people who uh, make it what it is. I mean, it's a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, that ended quickly.
huh?
That ended quickly.
We're gonna edit out all this dead air.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of non-developers that I look up to. Um, you know, the person who's very frequently on my mind is Edward Snowden, and his his whole situation, the whole situation that he's involved in, that we're involved in with him, is just crazy chaos and generally disappointing. Um,
Are you looking forward to the movie?
I I'm not really. I mean, it's like it's like if the Hamilton play came out while the Hamilton story was still occurring.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a really good depiction of what he's like as a person, and I don't really want that. I get the feeling that he is an arrogant person and that he can be difficult to work with, uh, just like any person who's significantly smart enough is. But it's what he's done and what he's doing that I think is most important, and I don't think a movie is going to tell the story about what he's doing and how it's shaping the United States.
Yeah, I agree with you. And such a tough. I don't know where he found the willpower to do what he did, and I honestly feel that he knew the severity of what he was doing. Uh,
Oh
he,
yeah.
he was very yeah he knew what was going to happen. Um, yeah, I don't.
Well, before him, there were some leaks that came out from people who clearly didn't understand the severity of what was occurring,
Hmm.
and yeah, he took it to the next level, and I think anyone who puts themselves in a position of martyrdom has to be looked into. You have to see what their motives are and what their reasoning is, and what the quality of the information that you're getting out of their martyrdom. Uh, but having looked into it, you know, I'm firmly on his side, which to me is the American side. you know, uh, it's sort of America versus its people right now, which is just a just a mess.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be an interesting election.
Hopefully, hopefully it's not so boring we can't make some nighttime talk out of it.
But I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you exactly 30 seconds to say something funny so I have an opening to this podcast. Otherwise, I might just be cutting this whole thing.
Oh boy. Uh,
That was great. Good job.
Damn it!
Always.
Completely dropped the ball. Uh, no, I don't have anything that wouldn't uh, get me murdered by my wife or daughter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's been incredibly pleasant lately with everyone's emotions and hormones syncing up so that chaos just occurs.
Welcome to my world for years. My one daughter finally got her driver's license.
Really?
Yeah, so she's buzzing around town now. I'm
It seems dangerous to have twin daughters where only one of them has a license.
Yeah, the other one got her learner's permit about a week after her sister got her license. So she's in no hurry. She's like, hey, I have somebody driving me around, so I'm good.
Yeah. You should make an Uber sticker for her. Just
I felt
stick
like
it
I
on the
needed the
car.
Uber sticker on my truck their senior year of high school. That's all I was doing was driving them
Oh.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids know not to expect me to do that for them. I tell them to go take a hike all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, quiet week. Not much going on. Um, hopefully next week spins up some interesting new drama and craziness. And hey, speaking of the drama, do you know what the result of the PHP Fig drama was last week? Do
I
we
do
have a?
not know. I saw some tweets going around, but I never followed up with it anymore. So I don't know if you can look that up real quick or not.
Da, da, da.
Let's see here.
Drama, PHP Fig imploding, drama explained. Oh, nope, that's not the right drama.
That's not it.
Imploding, no, imploding is drama event number 1. Drama debates is drama event number 2. Gotta find, there we go.
We can edit this together. So
Oh God, I hope so. this
either
this boring part will
we'll
become
edit it out,
surprising.
or we'll make it one smooth transition. Yeah, how you doing back there, buddy?
Secretary nominations?
So I was following the voting, and it was actually looking like it was in favor of Paul sticking around.
Yeah, that's
When
what I was seeing too.
yeah, I don't even have the links anymore.
Looks like Joe Ferguson has resigned.
Really?
There's a bylaw amendment for expulsion votes.
Yeah, they said they were going to do that. Yeah, I didn't even put the link on last week's notes.
They should have made a PSR for this. Oh, there's been a couple resignations.
So I take it.
Memberships withdrawn. Boy.
Current voting. Let's see. Is he still on here? He's still named as the current representative of the Aurora project. So he is still on the website. Dude, I need to find where that original was. I believe Marcus had tweeted that to me. My Twitter's been blowing up since Laracon. Made a couple of friends, posted a couple of funny links. And
Funny links. I haven't seen any funny links from you.
you don't follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, I do. I just don't read Twitter.
Let Let me see if I can find where that message was. Marcus. Marcus, where are you, Marcus? Do you know who Titan Co is?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you know we had a Titan Co employee come to one of our meetups once? He
I
lives
did not.
he lives there in San Diego. So I'm like, what the hell, man? He said he's gonna try to make it out.
Huh.
Fig, 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 fig. Where's the other fig at? I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know how you want to wrap this up.
Uh,
How long have we been recording? It doesn't feel like we've been recording that long. I don't know,
let's
about
just
an hour.
an hour.
Let's go an hour. Let me see.
Yeah, it looks like the vote did not pass.
Oh no? I'm just getting there. Secretary Declaration of Conflict of Interest. What is this? One of the primary reasons we decided on having 3 secretaries was to always ensure that was one secretary who could be impartial on a particular matter, that the others were involved for whatever reason or biased in any way. Uh, yeah, this is, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna miss quite a bit.
Let me see.
So that's good. Or bad, depending on your position.
Yeah, a lot of zeros, a lot of ones, plus one, minus one. It's funny. So we're talking about the matter of PHP Fig, and there was a recent proposal or recent vote put to the group asking them to replace the representative of the Aurora project, which is currently Paul Jones. He's the creator of it, because of some internal politics. Whether or not people felt that Paul Jones was being productive or not productive. We're not a part of the FIG, so we don't follow this. But we had a situation recently that was very similar to this, where the PHPUgly user group mailing list, there was a vote put together because some people of the mailing list, which is a public mailing list, anybody can join it. Anybody can become a member of it. Anybody can have visibility of the conversations that are happening inside of it.
Right.
And there was some concern among certain members. They wanted a place where, as user group administrators, they could speak freely about sponsors, speak freely about members within the group. Specifically, and the one incident that kind of brought all this to surface is there was a person that was having trouble with a member of their group. It was a very specific issue where the person was coming to meetups and preaching a lot, like literally preaching about God and trying, cornering people. And there was
Oh, it's a shame you didn't try to pin me down.
So there was some discussion going on the mailing list about how this sort of thing gets handled. And then there was a big concern by that administrator once they realized that these lists were public. And she was concerned that there would be some repercussions if this conversation had been found out. And I get that. And
Yeah.
what was being proposed is that they wanted a private list specifically for user group admins. So there was a lot of conversations back and forth about what our role was within the community, my particular stance, and I got some support on this when I replied is, we have we have we had a requirement to be open, and that by having conversations in the open, this would help other people in similar situations. Maybe people who weren't part of the PHP community, maybe they're a Rails user group organizer or a Python. They have a problem, they do a Google search, and our thread comes up, and they have that visibility and see how we talk through the problem. So I thought we had a reasonable expectation to be open, and that we shouldn't worry about that. And I got some support on that. Of course, the other side of the coin was the other organizer's opinion. And when it came down to a vote, at that time it was only John and I running the group. And although I was very adamant and open about my position, John sided with the other administrator. And so John and I had to have a conversation because as San Diego PHP organizers, we can only cast one vote. So we had to come to
Right.
agreement between us on what that vote was going to be. And I honestly don't remember if we voted 0 or if we actually voted +1 in favor of going to a closed list. And I remember at the time telling John that if that's how he wanted to vote, I was fine with it. I had made my opinion, I had stated my opinion and made it very clear on the list already where I stood personally, but that we had to agree on a position to stand as a group. So that's always kind of difficult because, it's like you're voting against what you believe in, but you kind of have to do that when you're representing other people. It's like, yeah, you don't. It's not about me, it's about the group as a whole.
Right. And I believe I sided on the issue with both of you. I was very unhelpful in my +0 contribution.
I think that's right. Actually, now that you say that, I do remember coming to you and saying you were the deciding vote, and you did nothing. You
Nothing
just
at
sat
all.
there on the sidelines.
Well, because you sold me your perspective and I agreed, and then you sold me John's perspective and I agreed, and didn't help in the slightest bit. If you had not told me what John's defense was, then I think I would have just sided with you having been the first person to talk to me. So you've
I got to
screwed
remember
yourself on
that if
that
I
one.
ever run for office.
Don't ask my opinion.
That's right. Or at least don't give both opinions.
Well, hey, here's hoping for a more eventful week next week. Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah, you totally went out. I've learned from editing this thing not to talk because you're coming back eventually, and because you record separately, it's transparent. You don't even hear it. So I'm just patient. I wait for you to
Yeah,
unfreeze.
it's a skill I don't have. I think it was you that froze, though.
Not, you can check the stream. I looked over at the stream. It was you.
I'm streaming like 20 things at once right now, so it couldn't have been me.
Oh,
Oh, that's
man.
it, folks. There's your closing joke.
That's as ugly as this week's gonna get.
Yeah.
We forgot to introduce ourselves at the beginning of the show. We need to start doing that. Introducing ourselves, talking saying "Hey, Thomas" and making sure we address each other by name.
Well, I'm running that lower third.
Yeah, people listening to the podcast don't see the lower third, Thomas.
People don't listen to the podcast. Haven't you seen?
I have. Our numbers are getting
Oh, it
slightly
is.
better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Once I get that bump from Laravel Chat Live, we'll be in the money.
yeah, what happened with that, man?
I don't know.
We've been holding steady at 30, and to my disappointment, Coder Boner, I think, is still the lowest one listened to the show. No, actually, it's not anymore.
No, no, wow, we've
It's
got
creeped up.
50 listens on some of them.
Do we? I see 47.
Texas Hold'em's got 58.
What is with that show that people listen to that show?
I think they believe it's going to be good. Episode 8's got 63 listens.
52.
Yeah,
Episode 8?
yeah.
Tools of the Trade?
Well, that does say 52, but down in the playlist it says 63.
Does it? Do we have different numbers? Well, it's weird. Why is that?
Yeah. If you scroll down to the bottom,
Yeah, I see that.
the playlist has totally different numbers. I think maybe they don't expect your recording to only have under 100 listens.
I'm sure.
Their analytics are targeted more towards people getting listens in the thousands.
We got listens in the tens.
Yeah, we have 23 followers.
Of which, 22 of them are bots, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they're really
my
good
gosh.
looking. They're really good looking bots.
I just happened to pull up episode 10. You can see the extended stats. And the top country that listens to us is the Russian Federation.
Well, I'd like to say to all my comrades, thank you.
You learn how to say thank you in Russian. Apparently, we're big in the Netherlands. We got 4 listeners in the Netherlands and Australia. They make up the bulk of the United States obviously makes up the bulk of our listens, but they're second to the U.S. Let's see the top cities. Who do you think the top city?
The top city, I'm gonna have to say San Diego.
Poway.
Oh no! Oh no! You're editing. You're editing and then listening to our podcast is throwing all of our analytics off.
I listen to our podcast like 3 or 4 times. That's because I listen to it on different headsets and different areas. So here's what's weird. Check this out. San Diego actually plays. So Poway's first. For those listening, Poway is where I live. Poway's first. San Diego is 4th. So try to guess what either second or third is. There's no way you're going to guess one of these. There's just no way.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to say it's Canada. It's Kalen.
That would have been a good choice. No, it's actually Buffalo, New York.
Really?
Which Poway has I guess a 7. I don't know if that's 7 listens for this particular show that I'm clicked on, or I assume that's what that is. And Buffalo, New York has 5, and then the Buffalo, New York is second. Third is South China with 3.
Oh no.
Then comes San Diego, Spain, Louisville, Kentucky, Mountain View. That makes sense. Here's the Netherlands, Australia, Uganda.
So we can say that we are the internationally renowned PHPUgly podcast.
I guess so.
We've been listened to in Russia, China, and Uganda.
Uganda, Iganda, we all Ganda for PHPUgly.
we all got to go to bed.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. All right,
Well,
man.
I'm gonna kill recording here.
Makes
Uh,
sense. I'm gonna start
I'm
broadcasting.
I'm
Well, go
Tom
ahead.
Rideout,
I'm Eric Van Johnson.
and
Keep it
this has
ugly.
been PHP Ugly.
That was terrible.
Oh,
That was not a great show.
that wasn't bad. I don't know.